Hey, Mike here, and this one is actually for the ladies. Look, I know you get a lot of practice in dealing with men who are chasing after you, but man, I gotta tell you, in my experience, a lot of you seem to do really badly when the roles are reversed and it's you that's trying to attract the guy. So I'm gonna give you a couple of pieces of advice, and you can just kind of consider this getting with your crush 101. First piece of advice. Ladies, if the guy you're into makes an effort towards you, say yes and then show up. Let me say it again. If the guy you have a crush on makes an effort towards getting together with you, say yes and then follow through and show up. I gotta tell you, it sounds stupid even coming out of my mouth that I would need to be that obvious, but I am constantly amazed how complicated you all can make things. So if your friends or some dating guru on the internet has convinced you that men like a challenge and they want you to play hard to get and you need to make them work for it, I'm telling you right now, you are simply wrong. What's actually happening is the guys who are chasing after you and making a bunch of effort towards you, they're not doing it because they like the pursuit. They're doing it because they lack optionality. And when they get one on the hook, they're loath to let go without making as much effort as they can. However, if a guy checks enough of your boxes that you're the one who's trying to attract him, that more than likely means he checks a lot of other women's boxes as well. And that means that's a guy with optionality. And that guy does not want to hear, oh yeah, I'm super busy, maybe next week. For the most part, guys with optionality, if it's not a yes, then to them, it's a no. And if you play hard to get, they're just going to assume that you're hard to date, and more than likely they're just going to put you in the rear view mirror, even if it's done reluctantly. So look, I'm not telling you that you need to be easy. I'm telling you, you need to make it easy for him to get with you. So do this. Reward his effort by saying yes and then simply showing up, and I guarantee you that you're already miles ahead of most other women. Second piece of advice, ladies, if this guy is not getting around to asking you out and making that effort, then shoot your shot. And by that, I mean be obvious and just ask him out. Let me explain. I know that you all think that you're being super obvious when you're flirting. And I'm telling you that is oftentimes not the case. In fact, a lot of the time, flirting looks an awful lot like simply being nice. And more to the point, just because a woman's flirting with a guy doesn't mean she wants anything more than that. As a man who has been flirted with quite a bit in his life, one of the first things that we learn is that oftentimes women are just looking for a little validation through some innocent flirting, some fun, and some attention, and they don't intend anything more than that. The problem is that men are built a little bit different than you all. We actually don't get validation from your attention or even your flirting. We get our validation from you making yourself available to us. Now, do you risk some rejection if you make the direct approach? Unfortunately, yes, there's actually no way around the possibility of rejection when you do the direct approach. But let me tell you, as somebody who has done a lot of direct approach in his life and who has been rejected more times than I could possibly count, the odds are overwhelmingly stacked in your favor. And in fact, I would give it for a woman at least a 90% chance of success, which is unimaginable to most men. So listen, ladies, if he makes an effort, show up and say yes. And if he isn't getting to that, then shoot your shot. Don't forget, fortune favors the bold. Be a little bit bold. Good luck to you.